So good morning. We're very excited on this rainy day. That's okay. We're going to do FeetUp Yoga. And so we have our inversion bench, which are our feet up trainers, but there's a variety of different ones that you can utilize. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through a warm up, and then we are some breathing, a warm up. We're going to do some inversions, of course, and then we'll cool it on down and end with Savasana. So let's get down onto the floor to start, and we're going to go into a Shavasana position. So we're going to put the hands palms down and just take a few moments and find your breath. Feel that back sinking nicely into the floor. The feet are resting comfortably. Trusting your trainer, trusting your inversion table is the #1 rule to having a successful yoga session when it comes to utilizing these. They're made very sturdy. They're not going to go anywhere. Take some nice deep breaths. And when you come to your next inhale, I want you to still stay on the ground, but I want you to raise your hands over your head so that the back of your hands tap the ground. And then on that exhale, come back front with those hands, palms down. So inhale, bringing those arms up over your head. And exhale, bringing them back to the floor. Let's do this a few more times, finding that breath. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Nice. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Great. Now resting those hands down on the ground. Now I want you to bend your feet up. So bending so that way the bottom of your feet will be on the cushiony part, lifting up into a bridge. So again, trusting your trainer. It's not going to tip over. It's not going to go anywhere, but you're going to get a very nice incline here. And let's lower back down. Good. Resting comfortably on the ground. Now let's inhale again and rise up back into that bridge position. Keeping your hands planted on the floor is a good place for them. Breathing. Good job lowering down. Lowering slowly down, 1 vertebrae at a time. And let's rise on up 1 more time. Squeezing those glutes. And lowering back down. So now this time, when we're going to rise up into that position, if you are able to, we are going to shuffle that left foot over just a smidgen, if you will, to the middle of the trainer, just so you have that equal balance. And we're going to raise that that right foot up into the air, pointing those toes. So focus on those glutes coming up so that you're still in that bridge pose, but rising up that foot. So even if you can't fully get there, the focus is still on the bridge pose and trying to extend that foot up. Bring that foot back to the cushion, and then gently 1 vertebrae at a time coming on down into that. So now we're going to take it to the other side, that left side. So rising on up first into that full bridge. Shimmying that right foot over just a little bit to the middle of the trainer for equal balance. And then lifting up that right foot into the air, pointing those toes. Keeping placing those hands down by your side if you are able to. If you do want to support your back, if you have any lower back issues, that's okay. And bring that left foot back down to the trainer. And then again, vertebrae at a time, coming down onto the ground. But what we're gonna do is with those feet on the cushions, you're going to take your right foot over your left leg, as if you're crossing your leg, and you're going to then pull in that left leg into a nice deep stretch, into a pigeon. This is great for your hips. If you have tight hips, I am a runner, so I have very tight hips. This is something that should be implemented into my everyday stretching. And let's bring the left foot back onto the cushion of the trainer, uncross those legs, and now we're going to take the left foot over the right leg, squaring off those hips, and then bringing the right leg towards you, again, as best as you can. Yeah, so one side might feel a little bit different than the other. Also, flexing those feet will give you an additional stretch. This side is definitely my tighter side. Breathing through, seeing if you can bring it a little bit closer. And on the next exhale, bringing that right foot down, left foot down. And now we can slowly come on up. Good, nice stretching there. So now we're going to get into a child's pose. A child's pose with an inversion table is also an additional awesome stretch. So when you're coming down into that child pose, trying to bring your hands as far as you can, having those elbows nice on the cushion, looking down. You can try to rest your head near the cushion. Really is such a nice stretch. Take a few more moments here. Good job. And then coming up into almost what would be kind of like a prayer position, clasping those hands together and trying to put them behind your neck and then going back into that child's pose. So instead of a deeper of a shoulder stretch. Good job, release that. And then slowly come back up. And we are ready to get into a warm-up using our trainer. Ugh, that felt so nice and yummy. Good. Yes, it did. So now we're going to flip around the trainer so that the wooden pieces are facing you. And we're going to start in a downward dog. So you want to give yourself that proper distance for downward dog where hopefully your heels of your feet can touch the ground. But if not, that's okay, but try to find that distance. And then what you're gonna wanna do is find a distance that works that you can then come right forward to plank position. So it's gonna differ for everyone. I'm 5'9", Sue is not 5'9", so the distance is gonna be a little bit different. But holding into this plank position, and then coming back into a down dog. And then we're gonna come forward to plank. Going back into downward dog. Let's do this a couple more times. Coming on forward. Pressing down into that wooden piece. Really holding yourself up and coming back. Pushing down into those heels. Let's do 2 more times. And last one, come forward to plank. And back to down dog. From here, Pedaling out those feet. Nice and warmed up. So now we're going to take that right foot back and we're going to open up the hips. And nice pop there. Wow. And then we're going to bring that knee forward, almost touching your nose, bring it forward. And then bringing it back up. And then you're going to bring the right knee to the right elbow. Good. Coming back up. Now you're going to cross the body so the right knee comes to the left elbow. Excellent job. And then coming back up. And this time you're going to bring that foot forward right in between the inside of the trainer. Rising on up into a high lunge. Great job. Feeling nice and steady and secure. And then put those hands back onto the wooden part of the trainer, kicking back that right foot back into down dog. Excellent job. So now let's take it onto the left-hand side. Rising up that left leg, opening up those hips, another great pop. And bringing it to the nose as best as you can. Good job. Kicking on back. Now the left knee is going to hit the left elbow. Good. Coming on back. Now the left knee is going to hit the right elbow in a twist. And then rising back up. And now this time that left foot is going to go into the middle of the trainer, rising on up into a high lunge. Excellent. Putting those hands back down on the wooden piece and back to a downward dog. Great. Whew. Now you can bring those feet back up towards the wooden piece of the middle of the trainer. So hopefully you're still with me. And so we've warmed up the body. There's so many different warm-ups that you can do with this trainer. So for today, we're going to focus on that. And next we're going to go into our flow. Again, so many different opportunities for flow. Basically, when I was going through yoga teacher training, I couldn't conceptualize how to build a flow. But with the Inversion trainer, for whatever reason, it clicks. And it's basically what I've been calling your one-stop prop. So if you need blocks when you're coming up into a high lunge, you have that support system. And basically, it's that tool for finding a better balance when you're going through a flow. So we're going to go through a flow a couple times, and we're going to focus on warrior 1, 2, reverse warrior, and triangle. All right, so we'll go along. Now, for this, you can start outside the trainer where the middle wooden piece is. For today, I'm going to start inside the trainer. All right, so we're just short of that hips distance. And so let's inhale up and exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, you can use that cushion. Exhale, fold. And now grasping that wooden piece, we're going to bring that right foot back, keeping that left foot inside the trainer. We're going to rise on up, warrior 1. And then we're going to go into warrior 2, just shifting that back foot. Having those arms strong, facing forward and pushing behind. And now we're going to reverse. Keeping that front knee bent. Exhale back to warrior 2. And then we're going to go into triangle, straightening that left leg. You can use that wooden piece of the trainer, or you can reach down further. Coming back up into warrior 2. And then we're going to cartwheel those hands onto the wooden part of the trainer, straightening those hips. And then we're going to go bring that left foot back into a down dog. Pedaling up those feet. Come forward to plank. Chaturanga. So with the trainer, you're higher up. So if you're able to do that full Chaturanga into Cobra, that's fine. If not, you can certainly work on those triceps and come down as much as you can. So we're going Chaturanga into a high Cobra, and then come back to downward dog. We're going to rise that right leg up, and we're going to bring it right on through into the inside of the trainer. See, it's a great prop to catch your balance. Rising on up, keeping that knee bent in the front. Good job. Now let's go into Warrior 2. And now we're going to reverse it. Great. Coming back. Warrior 2. Straightening that front leg into triangle. So again, too, if here is where you are, or even here, that's fine. Or you can be right down by the foot. Coming back up into Warrior 2. And then cartwheel those hands back onto the wooden piece. Taking that right foot back now into downward dog. So again, we're going to come forward to plank and we're going to Chaturanga. So again, wherever you are with this, it does take a bit, but it's great for helping those triceps and those arm muscles. And then coming back to down dog. Rising up that left foot. And we're going to bring it to the outside of the wooden piece of the trainer, stepping that left foot up, that right foot up. Rising on up. And into see, it's a lot of fun. It definitely can spice up a flow. And again, too, if you're not able to do a full flow on the ground, it is that nice little trainer to be able to work your way up. And I don't know if you have anything to say more on that in terms of.
Well, I can tell you that the Chaturanga is really quite difficult. You know,
Yeah.
If you don't have good upper body strength and core strength, Chaturanga can be very difficult, and it can feel like you're, you know, sinking in your shoulders, and you can feel lots of pain everywhere if you try to do this. But what I find with this, the trainer is you can really work on, you know, not only your push-ups, but you can work on those nice Chaturangas where your elbows are pretty close into the side body. And even the upward dog, a lot of people can't do upward dog. But now that you have this, the leverage of the trainer, you're able to open up more and come into more of the pose. So it really can increase the flexibility and the strength in your practice. And I don't know, Katelyn and I have been using the FeetUp trainer for a while now, and I can tell you that my core strength is gotten so much stronger, you know what I mean? I've really learned to develop more core strength with this trainer.
Yeah, and that will be helpful for a couple of our inversions that we're going to do. But first we're going to go through that flow again a little bit faster. And again too, when I'm starting inside the trainer, the difference is that really when I'm bringing back that foot, I'm just saving a step. If you were to want to start outside of the trainer, when you're doing those folds, then you would bring that right foot in and that left foot out. So I'm just saving the time. It's a very versatile tool. So for today, we're going to start inside the trainer. All right. And inhale, rise those hands up. Exhale, fold over the trainer. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bringing that right foot back. Rising on up into Warrior 1. Exhale, Warrior 2. Nice bent leg in the front. Strong arms. And then reversing into reverse warrior. Back to that Warrior 2. And now straightening that leg, front leg, coming into that reverse triangle. And now back to Warrior 2, bending that leg. Cartwheeling those hands onto the wooden part. Bringing that left foot back into downward dog. Good job. Come forward to plank. Working on those chaturangas. Coming on down into a cobra or an upward dog, whatever your preference. And then back into downward dog. Bringing that right foot up. And bring it into the middle of the trainer. Good job. Rising on up. Warrior one. Going into that warrior two. Excellent job. Reversing it. Warrior two. Into triangle. And then coming back to that warrior two. Bringing those hands down. Hips forward. Bringing that leg back into down dog. Let's go through the flow. And back to down dog. And then bringing that right foot forward, left foot forward, rising up into mountain pose. And so we're going to get into first our regular traditional headstand. And so what you're going to do is step by step, bringing the head into the trainer and rising on up. You can bend those knees and extend right on up, using that core, pointing those toes, keeping those arms nice and activated. Good job. And then I want you to try to bring those legs down without bending, nice and straight all the way, engaging that core slowly. And then go into a child's pose. Nice child's pose, nice stretch in those shoulders. Sometimes when you do start to use a trainer, you're not familiar with it, you can feel maybe a little something with the shoulders, but that does go away. It's not anything wrong. It's just a new thing to your body.
It's true. It's true. I'm glad you mentioned that because the first couple of times on the trainer, my shoulders were a little achy. It's just like the trapeze. I have a trapeze in the corner here. And when I was doing certain inversions, it would hurt my back and stuff, just the trapeze itself, the material. So it does get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now I don't feel it at all.
So yeah, and sometimes you have those days, but it's great to be able to get inverted, to get the blood flowing, especially in these winter months when it's a lot colder. So next we're going to go up into that headstand, and from there we're going to do stags on both sides. So I'm going to instruct to bring the right foot down halfway and rise back up, left foot down and rise back up. We're going to do that a few times. So getting up into that headstand, whether it's bending the legs or not, and rising on up into that full headstand, keeping those arms engaged, that core engaged. And then once you find that comfortable area with that headstand where you feel balanced, you're going to bring that toe on the right hand side, that big toe, all the way down towards the kneecap of your left leg. Keeping that in a beautiful position. And then you're going to drag it right back up into that full headstand. And now we're going to take it to the left side. So bring that big toe so that it meets down by that kneecap of the right leg. And bringing it back on up into full headstand. Let's go to the right side, bringing it down towards the knee. And back up into that full headstand. And then one more time on that left side, bringing that big toe all the way down to that knee. And up to a full headstand. Bringing the legs back down. And go into a child's pose. When I've conversed with some people all over the world who use these type of trainers, typically when you're starting out, you want to gauge what's best for you, for how long you're going to stay inverted. But the average seems to be that people choose between 30 to 60 seconds. But you definitely want to give yourself that break and avoid any major head rushes. Now, let's do a inverted forward fold. So basically, you're going to be into that headstand with those toes pointed, but then you're going to shift those shoulders back just a little bit so that your feet come down in front of you, essentially. And then we're going to try to rise it back on up into a headstand. So, first we'll get into that headstand. And then shifting slowly, so this does take some core work and some trust. Trying to get that forward fold as best as possible. And then try to rise back on up into a headstand. Great job. Let's try that one more time. Shifting those shoulders. You're fully supported. Woo! And back up into full headstand. And let's just do that one more time. Basically so that your head's trying to come towards your knees. And rise back on up into a headstand. And come on down. We're going to come up back into that headstand, and then we're going to bring those knees in towards you, and then bring them back up, and creating that crunch motion. Okay, and we're going to start with 5 of them. Forward facing, you can do twisting ones, those are quite fun too to hit those obliques, but for today, we're just going to go up and down in that type of a motion, and we're going to do it 5 times. Ready? Legs up into that full headstand, and then we're going to bring them down. And then pushing on up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more. 5, and then you can come on down. So you're going to have it so that your cushion is to your back. And there's a couple different varieties here. Again, too, be mindful of your lower back. And basically, you don't want to overextend yourself. And so if this is all that you can do for yourself, keeping those toes facing forward, if you have to bring them out a little bit, that's okay, I do. And trying to lift on up. But if you are feeling comfortable, grab the wooden piece, kind of in the middle of the wood, and you're going to lift on up into a wheel. Now for me, I'm not going to be able to do the full because my back is a little tweaky today. But if you are able to, or for Sue, for example, she can push her hands down and get into that wheel pose. Excellent job. So again, you are pushing down, rising that body up. For me, I can't extend my arms the full way, but that's okay. And then you're going to come down, hitting your mid-back on that trainer, and just making your way to the ground. So again, another opportunity where if you're somebody who works in your practice, but maybe a normal wheel is something that's really tricky, this can be a support system that can help your muscle memory and help you to be able to work on that back bend. So definitely a great opportunity for you to hit those trickier poses. And again too, if this is where you're at, that's okay. That's totally fine, but if you're able to push down onto those wooden pieces and bring it on up, supporting yourself, trusting that trainer, good job, and then come on down when you're ready, bringing that butt right down to the ground. Excellent job. Bring it in front of you, because we're going to be slowing on down and starting to do some twists and getting ready to go into that final Shavasana. So for here, you don't necessarily need the trainer at the exact moment, but what we're going to do is a supine twist. So you can move the trainer, or you could even kind of use it, come on over as a guide. Twisting, bringing that right foot over across the body. That right hand is reaching out, and if you can, look to the right side. That definitely feels great after doing those inversions. And then we're going to come back to neutral position. Bringing that right foot down to the ground, straight leg on the right side. Taking that bent left knee over across the body. That left hand is reaching out, and if you can, look to the left side. Very nice. Now bringing those legs back to that neutral position. You can certainly have those feet on top of the trainer. And then from here, we're going to go into a happy baby, or even a half happy baby, wherever you can. So grabbing the outside of the soles of the feet, pushing those feet down so that those knees are trying to find the ground, if you will. Pressing that spine into the ground. Good job, and then releasing that. And then from here, you'll be able to put your legs right back onto that trainer, if that's what you would like to utilize as your final Shavasana pose. You can omit the trainer if you just want to be flat on the ground, but this is definitely, like I said, a great position, not only for the end for Shavasana, but also for if you just had a hard day at work, if you just have had a hard day in general, or you just want to have a nice way to relax. This is a very yummy position for you. And so certainly take this time to join me in Shavasana. And we'll stay here for a couple moments. we take a couple more moments here, you can start to bring some energy back into the body, wiggling the fingers and toes, feeling your legs back on that trainer, feel the whole body relaxed, yet energized. And of course, nice calm breath. And when you're ready, you can take those legs off the trainer, come to that right side, even take a couple moments still in that fetal position on the right side before coming up to a seated position. And so that is a class. I think it's only appropriate that we do end with an Om, just solidify the class. So deep inhale.